So let me jump into a reverse debugging demo. Okay, so I'm going to just run a script that will run TotalView, and it's going to run a program called Replay Engine Demo. So let's load up TotalView again. And I'm just going to run this program here. Actually, before I run, I'll show just a bit about what's going on with reverse debugging. So to enable reverse debugging, just simply click the record button. You can do this dynamically before you start running, or you could run to a breakpoint and then turn on reverse debugging. You might have a lot of setup in your program beforehand. You're doing a lot of data loading and so forth, and you don't need to reverse debug that. So wait until you hit a breakpoint later into a section of code that you want to start to analyze and do reverse debugging. So we've clicked record on there, and I can literally start just stepping into this program now. I'm at 25, I'm at 26, go to 27. If I want to go back and investigate what happened in 25, I just start stepping backwards. We can see at line 27 is the red arrow here indicating that that is my live point. That's where I stopped recording, and I'm sitting at line 25 now. Now I can start going forward through execution history. I can step into function A. I can see the variables for A and B in function A on this. I can step over here, step into function B, look at what goes on in the algorithm here as well. At any point, I can say, bring me back to the live location where I was recording last here at line 27. So let's just run. This program is going to run through, and it's going to crash with a segmentation fault here. And it will do it in a way that it actually trashes the call stack. So I have no idea where it crashed. This is a pretty tough scenario for a developer. Usually you'd have to rerun again, set some breakpoints, hope you hit the breakpoints before you crash. You'll crash again. You've got to repeat that process till you narrow it in on what actually happened. Now, since I've been recording on here, I can literally just start stepping backwards. I can see I crashed somewhere around the end of the program at line 57, 58, and I happen to be filling this loop here at lines 53 and 54. It's filling a variable v, which if I hover over that is an integer of 20. And I started filling it with this, starting at a value called an array length, which is 100. Well, if I look, that's really what's wrong here, is that I'm filling an array of 20 with 100 elements in there, so I'm overwriting the bounds of the array. Now, this array happens to be on my stack. I define it on line 44 here of my function. So when I overwrote that, that's what trashed the stack on me on this case. So we can use another capability of TotalView to figure out where did I assign this array length on here. I can use a feature called watch points. So I'm going to create a watch point. I'm going to have it watch array length, and we'll do that. We'll see it show up here in my action points, and I'm literally now going to start running backwards on here. And it will go back through recorded history, and we stop at line 61 when array length is set to 5 times max depth. And max depth happens to be the value of 20 set on 19. So that's how I got the 100 on there. So in one debugging session, I have seen the crash, recorded what was going on, stepped backwards through the code, figure out what was wrong, and know what I need to fix in there. I didn't have to rerun. I didn't have to set at multiple breakpoints and waste a lot of time. This was a fairly trivial example, but imagine if I had tens of thousands of lines of code. It would be much harder to figure out where maybe something had gone wrong. I can take this whole session, and I can save this recording file out, and I can load it again later. I don't have to rerun through again to get to the same spot. You may have an intermittent failure that's hard to capture, and by using this technology here, once you've captured it, you've got it. You can then go back through and figure out what happened, how did you get to a bad state, why was my data wrong, why was my logic wrong, anything like that.